What's going on, everybody? It's been 2 weeks, and we're here finally. And Flip is kind of here.
I miss
We're
you
both
guys.
we're both
I
kind of
miss you.
exhausted. I miss you too.
Yeah, I did landscaping today. Felt like I was having a heat stroke, and then immediately went and did boxing. So
It is disgusting outside.
yeah, it was 100. It was 105 here. It was pretty bad. Just sucks the life out of you.
We got lucky. I think we hit either 98 or 99, but it is awful right now.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. What I don't hate is I started boxing, and I love it. It's so much fun. It's an adrenaline rush. Let's go on, Sean. I love you. It's an adrenaline rush. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go at 7:30 in the morning tomorrow.
Whew. On a non-day off, you're going to go at 7:30 in the morning.
Yep, I'm gonna go at 7:30. Be at work by 9 to unload the truck.
Whew. That's dedication.
Yeah. It's fun. But what's new with you?
Some exhaustion, just like yourself. I mean, I think we were outside for a good 6 or 7 hours straight for 4th of July stuff, and I hated pretty much every moment of it.
Did you have a good Fourth?
Yeah, it was decent. We live in a neighborhood that is full of very rich white people, and
Hey.
we are very out of place, thankfully. But they go all out for 4th of July, and like there was one house that put on such a professional display that if you went to their house, you could tune your car radio to an FM station and have music synced up to their fireworks at their house.
People do that. People do that here with Christmas decorations, but I've never heard of someone doing it with 4th of July fireworks.
The same house does it for Halloween and Christmas, and in Halloween they have a maze in their front yard, and they project a movie, and if you tune it to their FM station, you can watch the movie.
That's pretty freaking cool. Sometimes rich white people just are cool.
We had fireworks going off for a good 6 hours straight, and we're talking like city level display fireworks.
Our city, so it's weird. We have a bunch of like small farm towns around here. So Friday, our town had their fireworks, and apparently they sucked ass. So last night, the trailer park had their own fireworks, and it was fucking insane. My kid was like, Dad, look, fireworks. Oh my God, Dad, do you like fireworks? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I love fireworks. She was just blown away.
I had both my kids hold a Roman candle this year for the first time, and they were just, whoa.
Now, someone who didn't like fireworks was the dog. The dog pissed on the porch. She was so scared. She was shaking. She didn't know what to do. So,
my dog is real bad with that. We found two things that my dog did yesterday. It ate through the bottom about 8 or 10 blinds in my kid's bedroom to try to get out of the house. And then the second thing is it ate through 3 of my mom's computer cords for her actual like desk. It ate through a power cable. And
what kind of dog is this?
Akita Inu.
You guys feed the fucking thing?
Oh yeah. She has incredible anxiety. Anyways, what's going on, John? Sardis, my friend. It is nice to see you again. Anthony, hey. What's going on, Terry? Fanatical Dragon, I want to say you have a wonderful cat. I love when your cat makes a cameo in your videos. What's going on, Dave? Jeff, my friend. And Sardis, never even heard a firecracker here.
Sardis,
I can't imagine.
You live in the desert?
I think he said he lived in the middle of like Tennessee or something like that. Anyways,
expect mountain folk to be lighting off fireworks.
Now with our new format, we talk about some pickups, some watches, and then we'll deep dive into one release. You want to talk about any pickups?
I'm going to be absolutely awful this episode because I have 0 pickups. 0 watches. I watched UFC. Can I talk about that?
Of course.
So I watched UFC on Saturday. Israel Adesanya is boring like always, really cringy in his trash talk. He said, "I'm gonna put you on ice like Elsa," twice. He said that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. The only good trash talking line from Israel Adesanya I've heard that I liked is, I think maybe a year or two ago, he said, "I wrap my dick around my waist and call it a black belt because he's a black guy." That's a pretty good fucking trash talk line. But Volkanovski versus Holloway 3 was fantastic. Volkanovski is my height, and he's beating dudes that are much taller than him. He's a fucking animal. Just an incredible specimen. He used to be a rugby player.
What is much taller than him? Like 5'6"?
No, we're 5'6". We're like 5'11".
That was a joke.
He's thinking about going up a weight class too, which is fucking mind-boggling to go get another belt because he's cleaned house in his division. So, Volkanovski's incredible. Yeah, it was a solid. I mean, besides the main event, which is Adesanya, because he's boring, it was a good fight. It was a good UFC. Fan controlled football league ended. Did you watch any of that? It was pretty weird.
I don't even know what you're saying.
So I don't know who started it. I feel like maybe Ice Cube's involved. But it's like a shorter football field. And then there's like power-ups that fans control through Twitter. I don't understand. Like, there's one of the power-ups. The only one that like makes sense in my head is the 5th down. Like, if a team does X amount of things, they can get access to the 5th down. So I mean, it's cool to see other players get a second chance, but it wasn't that cool. There's been a lot of
power-ups is a weird word to call it, though.
That's what they call it, and they're like sponsored.
It'd be like
the Gatorade power-up.
If they ran over this spot in the field, then they go 10 miles an hour faster.
I mean, kind of. I mean, I could see that, but there's been this year. There's a lot of non-NFL football leagues. There was the USFL that ended last month, which was terrible. The fan control football was weird, and then next year the XFL is coming back.
Oh, jeez.
You laugh.
Hopefully without Vince McMahon.
I think he stepped down from wrestling. His daughter took over, and then they signed Logan Paul. Did you see that?
I did not, but
yeah,
hey.
They signed Logan Paul. Good for Logan. Get that bread.
All right, I can go through a couple pickups.
Yes.
I got the two. I think these are the two newest Kino Lorber 4Ks in with Killer's Kiss and Out of Sight.
What is Out of Sight?
Out of Sight is a Steven Soderbergh film, and it is in his. It's in his range of like nearly perfect films. Out of Sight was maybe the first of them. This is let's see, this criminally cool crime caper from the director Steven Soderbergh. Meet Jack Foley, the most successful bank robber in the country. On the day he busts out of jail, he finds himself stealing something far more precious than money. Karen Sisko's heart. She's smart, she's sexy, and unfortunately for Jack, she's a federal marshal. Now they're willing to risk it all to find out if there's more between them than just the law. And it's got an incredible cast. I mean, J-Lo is great in this, which she's not always a great actor, but she's really good in this. George Clooney kills it in this. Yeah, they do great stuff. I have loved all of the Kubrick 4K, at least the way they've looked. I still don't love 2001, but I'm more than happy to give that one a watch. And then Shout Factory had a sale. I don't remember what it was called. It was a weird one. And usually on Shout Factory sales, I do
have pickups. What am I talking about? I do have pickups.
Oh, you got something from Vinegar Syndrome in, right?
Yeah, I completely forgot until Sardis said I got 14 partner titles. And then I was like, oh, shit.
Shout Factory, can't speak. Shout Factory had some sort of sale. And I don't remember what it was called. It was like the warehouse sale or something like that. And this one, I'd been looking for a cheap version of this for a long time, and I finally got the box set in of The Decline of Western Civilization. I showed this to the patrons already, but this is a big deal. Have you seen any of these, Flip, with the stuff you're into? I figured you might have.
No, I have not.
So The Decline is kind of like a documentary by Penelope Spheris, who is an incredible filmmaker who did things like Wayne's World and some other big titles. For example, what is the Severin title that they put out of hers? The one with Charlie Sheen. Anyways, this is a beautiful release to show all of the like anti-establishment actual punks back in the, I think it was early 90s when this came out. What was the first year of this? Oh, or way earlier, sorry, 81. So 81 was the very first one, and then the second one was 88, and the third one was 98. So it shows essentially the different cultures surrounding music and just how genuine and hardcore things were, the punk scene, and how much like they were anti-establishment and stuff like that. But this doesn't just have the 3 films, it's also got a bonus disc and a book in here. This is like a really great box set from Shout Factory, and it had been gone from all of their sites for quite some time, and it finally came back, and it was like $30. So I jumped on it.
Shout Factory announced a couple things this week that were pretty huge.
Yep.
For me.
Platoon 4K, I'm sure, is the big one.
No. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about Kamen Rider.
Kuga. That was, yeah.
That's a huge deal. I don't think you understand. That is a
No, I know. That's the one you've been talking about for a while.
Yeah, I mean, they tested I know from a certain label there's a handful of Kamen Rider things coming. But Kuga is, I would say, top 5 most beloved Kamen Rider series.
Right.
It's been almost yearly since the 70s, so like there's a lot. It's incredible. It's a really good show. And then they announced Super Sentai. They must have gotten a new contract with Hasbro. 5-man is coming. 5-man is not good, but it's awesome that we're getting more. So go Shout Factory. Keep it up.
Yeah, a lot of really good stuff from them. So what'd you pick up from Vinegar Syndrome?
I don't know if I showed this off, but Shell and Plot, and Executions in Autumn. This, I texted you about this.
Yeah.
One of the best first-time watches I've ever had since probably Seven Samurai.
I feel like you talked about this last time, but I don't remember necessarily.
I don't remember either. But Vinegar Syndrome, man, they're putting out the classics. Again, the absolute masterpiece that is Expect No Mercy, starring Billy Blanks. That's awesome. Really good artwork there. I mean, look at this. You tell me you don't want to see this movie? I don't know why they're giving this the VSA treatment. I really don't. I have no idea why. But I'm happy about it. But I'm happy about it. I'm happy to have these terrible fucking movies. And then Miami Connection. So. Solid
release.
Yeah, really solid. No special features list on the packaging anywhere. Except for here, but it's a brick.
That's usually how it is, yeah.
But yeah, again, kind of like New York Ninja, there's like so much artwork packed into this release. I love this. I think that's really dope. But yeah,
yep.
I completely forgot that I had gotten those until Sardis. Thank you, Sardis. And I do want to point out,
I figured you would talk about this one tonight. Hilton brings up Dersu Uzala that got announced from Imprint, one of the Kurosawa films that has not gotten a great release. It got announced last Friday.
Is it out yet, or is it coming soon?
It just got announced. I believe it's coming in September.
Wow. But I want to highlight Dragon is Right. Shell and Plot is incredible. Both the Eureka films are a lot of fun. Not Executions Autumn is a very depressive film, but Shell and Plot is like so much fun. I haven't had that much fun watching a movie since probably Duel to the Death. So it's really good.
Nice.
Yes. I completely agree, yeah.
Sardis got I believe he means Sylvia Christel collection from Cult Epics. I've been eyeing that one as well. All right, some watches. You said you only watch UFC, and
I feel like that's true. God, yeah, I think that's true. I watch some boxing.
Since we have been apart for 2 weeks, I actually have like a lot that I watched, and I'm sorry that none of them are Baby Carton River 6. So I watched Inspector Ike, which was from Factory 25. And that is one of the Vinegar Syndrome partner labels. That movie is glorious. If you like modern, dry comedy, it is a perfect send-up of 70s, like Case of the Week, Columbo-style shows. It is so ridiculously funny. Then I watched another one that I'm going to do my highlight on tonight, so I'll wait on that one. My Patreon, we hosted a watch-along, and we watched Day of the Animals that Severin released, and oh my gosh, it was so much fun watching that one with a group. I'd seen it before, but it is so much better watching it with a bunch of people that can appreciate a movie like that. And Day of the Animals, if you've never seen it, it's on Shudder right now. Like I said, available from Severin. The
What
movie,
year?
it is 77.
Okay.
It's essentially the ozone layer is weakening, and it's causing all of the animals to attack humans. And in this movie, you see bear attacks, mountain lion attacks. There's a snake. There's dog attacks. There's bird attacks. There's all kinds of stuff. And they did really well to use actual animals. And oh my gosh, like it's so well done in every sense of the word. Even when Leslie Nielsen literally boxes a bear. And yeah, it's fantastic. Then I watched one that people have been talking about lately because it got a release from Imprint and from Scream Factory, and that is 93's Fire in the Sky, the alien abduction film.
Is that good?
And it's good. It's not as well, let me preface that. If you are scared of aliens in any sense of the word, it's a pretty terrifying movie because it's a fairly, I don't want to use the word like,
it's a true story, right?
it's a guy that, well, there is a guy, I believe his name is Travis Walker, that tells this story that he had this happen to him. But supposedly, he thought the movie got it all wrong, basically. And he wrote a book to explain what the real truth was and how they did it, like a handful of years after the movie came out. But I also believe there's a remake coming that's actually supposed to tell the true story. But it's a fairly slow build-up to this final third act that is literally just this guy waking up on an alien ship and trying to escape. And the scenes that are on there are very well done. It is obviously, I can't say realistic, but it's done practically, and it looks very good for 1993. It looks much better than it should. So I can see why a lot of people were scared of it at that time, especially. But yeah, decent movie, really well acted. It's got a couple faces that you'll recognize in it.
That's a genre that has died out. Alien abduction movies. There's alien movies, but there's not that many alien abduction movies.
Very, very true. I finally got to see Studio 666, the Foo Fighters horror film, and it's not amazing. It's good, but it's very cliche. So don't go in expecting any groundbreaking, brand new ideas or anything. The best part about it is they really mix comedy, music, and horror fairly well. And the acting it's a rock band, so don't expect like top of the line acting, except for Dave Grohl, who's amazing at everything he touches.
I don't like Foo Fighters. It's very dad rock.
Thankfully, the music in the movie is essentially being controlled by a band from the past and Satan together. So the music is much heavier than Foo Fighters.
Okay, like, so I cannot imagine a horror movie set to Foo Fighters music.
They go genuine thrash in a few of the songs.
What was it? Dave Grohl had a side project, Probot, I think maybe.
Probot, yep.
He did a song with the singer of Venom, and it's killer.
He's done the amount of things that he's had his hand in. Like, he is the one that recorded all the studio drums for all the Tenacious D albums. He recorded, He recorded drums on the Alanis Morissette album Jagged Little Pill. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Nirvana yet, but the amount of music that he's had a hand in the last 35 years is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he's a talented guy. It's just not for me.
And then with my kids, I rewatched Rookie of the Year, the hilarious movie from, I think it's 93, the baseball movie about the kid that breaks his arm and then can suddenly pitch like 105 miles an hour. That movie holds up so much better than I remember it being. It is great. Lots of adult jokes in it. It was comedic. It wasn't like gross like the Blank Check movie from back then or anything like that.
Dude, Blank Check used to give me a boner back in the day. I was like, I want that to happen to me. The news reporter lady.
Yeah. Rookie of the Year is
also
great.
Hang on. Sorry to interrupt you, but that fucking kid bought all of that with just $1 million.
It was the 90s. Come on.
Oh, wow. It was awesome.
I totally forgot that Rookie of the Year had the last, at least for me, the last thing I remember Gary Busey being in it and being not coked up Gary Busey. And he's
Which
good.
Is what? Is that pre-motorcycle accident?
Yes.
It's crazy what happened to him. Sad. Someone says inflation.
That's my friend Josh. He's talking about the $1 million not going as far as it should.
Love you, Josh. I think $1 million today would buy me one supercar. Dude, I could blow $1 million in 10 minutes.
Oh, easily.
Easy, like in 10 minutes. Like it's like I have a list of things I want.
You'd probably buy Arrow back from the Hut Group.
I'm gonna need a little bit more than $1 million.
I had one more watch, and I think you said that you've seen this one, and I finally want to dive into it a little bit. I finally saw The Northman.
Yeah.
So what did you overall think of this one? Just remind everybody.
So here's the thing: is that I haven't seen it since, but I think about it a lot. I think it's the second best movie. I think it's behind The Lighthouse. I think it's better than The Witch. I loved it. I personally loved it. I think I loved it. I don't think I loved it as much as I was expecting. And then as time goes on, I keep thinking of scenes, and they do, like, for instance, they could take it in certain scenes a little too far, like when they find the bodies on the houses and they're all like shaped. Yep. They could have taken that a little too far, but they showed it once. It's haunting. It does its job, and then they move on. I wish he would have leaned more into like the mysticism aspect. But spoilers: the final 10 minutes of the movie is two hot dudes naked in a volcano. It's fucking awesome.
For me, I did not love it. I liked it, and it's a well-made movie. I mean, it's Eggers. It's not going to be a bad movie, first of all.
Yeah.
It is. I think it is his worst film. And granted, he's done 3 movies, so that's not saying that much. But I would much rather watch The Witch over The Northman pretty much any day of the week. But The Lighthouse is still his best film by a long shot. What I felt is we got all of like the distinct, beautiful visuals from The Lighthouse with none of the charm or any of the unique storytelling, essentially, from The Lighthouse. It felt very... It felt like a studio film done by an auteur, which is essentially what it was.
Yeah, and I read that this wasn't his final cut. That studio made him cut some stuff out. Also, they made Anna Joy Taylor look busted.
That's a good point.
She was. What's up, nerd? But yeah, I think it's the best movie I've seen this year.
Oh, damn.
Trying to think. I still haven't finished Everything Everywhere All at Once.
See, I'd rather watch Batman more. I'd rather watch the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers movie from Disney
As
Plus.
Time has passed from me seeing Batman, I like it less and less and less.
Oh, for me it might be the opposite, and I really like
Really?
it. I think I'm liking it more.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the 3 hours thing really killed it for me. The Northman's not that long, is it?
It's like 2.5 hours. Yeah,
Bro, I am sunburned.
he's talking about you saying it's the best movie you've seen this year.
Oh, I haven't, dude. I haven't seen shit. I've seen that. The first 10 minutes of Everything Everywhere All at Once. Do the last Stranger Things episodes count as movies? Because they're fucking.
They're basically films. I haven't seen them yet. The Northman is what?
Can I talk about those?
As long as there's no spoilers, yeah.
Oh, you care about spoilers?
I've never seen them. Yeah,
Have you seen up to season 4?
yeah.
Okay. It's a good season.
Northman is 2 hours 20 minutes. I just checked.
Yeah, that's
So
much
it's
better
still-
than 3.
But it's still very long for a movie that doesn't tell that like epic of a story, or that there's really not a lot to the story.
Also,
They could have cut it down to a 90-minute movie.
all guys want is to get naked with their bros and howl at the moon at a fire. Like when that scene came on, I was just like, that's what I want. I just want to do that with my friends. So when I come to Kansas City, we're just going to do that.
I'll find us a volcano to fight
In your
into.
in your neighborhood. We're going to just have a fire. In
The howling can be here. The volcano, I got to find a volcano too.
I mean, depending on what I eat, my ass could be the volcano.
It'll be your first foray with Kansas City barbecue, so it might be the ticket.
Oh, is that a thing? Kansas City barbecue?
Oh yeah, it's I mean I'm a little biased, but I think it's by far the best.
Is it
barbecue.
is it good, or is it like Detroit's like, well, we got our own pizza?
No, it is genuinely good.
Oh, hey, your friend's got the fire pit. Does he live near you?
He does, yeah.
Oh, sweet. Oh,
He he built us out of 2 pallets. We have an actual fireworks stand that we set up at the bottom of my driveway to launch all of our fireworks out of.
that's fucking
every
awesome. A full video of howling. Great. I think I could do a pretty good howl. Do you want to try out? Do you want to do some howls?
Not right this second because my kids are asleep, but yeah, if you ever
Mine
show
is
up,
too.
sure.
I don't give a shit. Just see, look at that.
All right.
That was weird. That was stupid.
Yes, it was. You want to highlight a release now?
Yeah, I would love to highlight a release. I can't fucking talk, dude. Mine will be a little short because I am just going to be talking about Execution in Autumn. I think this is Eureka's best release of the year. The reason why I'm choosing this is because I think Eureka, out of any other company, takes risks. Does that make sense? Because when this got announced, I had not heard of it. I looked it up on Letterboxd. It had like 80 people logged at the time. You can't find really much anything about it online,
Right.
except that it's hailed and loved by those who have seen it. And then when you watch the movie, the restoration is absolutely incredible. And they did not do the restoration themselves. They did it. The Taiwan Film Institute did the restoration. And there was like a thing that shows like side by side, and it's night and day difference. Like they rescued this film. It looked like it was about to be gone, and they saved it. You get, what was it? Just Got Execution. I'm so excited to watch it. I don't think Sean's gonna like it. I don't think you're gonna like it, bud. I think you're gonna be like, this movie sucks. It's very slow. It's very heavy on themes that I don't think you will like. Like what I said earlier, it's one of my favorite things I've ever watched since Seven Samurai. Like conjured up the same emotions. It's not one of my favorite films. If I need to rewatch it a couple more times to fully get it, but they also have Tony Raines. He's been a bunch of Arrow stuff. He's just kind of making the rounds lately. This guy, I mean, he's been around for a while, but just out of like the last year, it just seems like he's just making the rounds and doing stuff. He has it says 44 minutes. No, not at all. I'm calling you British. I called them yesterday and I was like, "Hey, this is the day that my country kicked your country's ass."
That's how you celebrate.
That's how we celebrate. Amen, brother. But Tony Raines does a 44-minute video where he just rambles about the importance of this film. Its director, Lee Sing, which they call him the godfather of Taiwanese cinema. And it's cool to have a prestigious release from a region. Like, we get a lot of Chinese releases, we get a lot of Hong Kong releases, but a region that's not a Chinese. How do I say this? A Chinese spoken movie that's not from China or Hong Kong. There's a new interview with film critic Tony Raines, restoration footage, and a collector's booklet with a new essay from Philip Kemp. I do gotta say,
what year is that movie from?
1972.
Okay, so it is.
And it's 99 minutes, so it's a pretty quick movie. I do gotta say though, the packaging design, like, I'll just do a side by side real quick, but like very kind of like bland. I think the cover is bland. I really do. And then I
really like that cover though. Myself.
I don't. I think it's terrible. But then you get like look, like Shaolin Plot's book is like really cool, and the artwork's like really like hyperkinetic. It's cool. But then this, I guess it matches the tone of the movie.
That's what I was about to ask. Doesn't it kind of fit that?
I mean, it's all right, but yeah, I would recommend watching this. Prepare to be depressed. And then, well, you kicked England's ass and got independence. Hey, at least we succeeded, you know?
So far.
Why don't you guys just drape your kilts over their faces and suffocate them? Love you, Dragon.
Because then they can bite their haggis.
Have you ever had haggis?
God, no.
I really want to try it. I went at Comic-Con. There was a group of Scottish guys who were just wearing kilts, and I was like, "That's so fucking cool, so cool, so fucking cool."
Cam's got his eye on that, and Jeff says it looks somber. Is it a somber film?
Oh, dude, it's very somber. It's very, very, very somber. Thank you, France.
The movie I'm going to talk about is from... What year is this from? I should have looked at this before. I think this is from 1994. It is. This is a movie put out by Saturn's Core Audio and Video, one of the Vinegar Syndrome partner labels, and not one that I talk about a whole lot. I did a interview with Ross Snyder from Saturn's Core, but they're not ones that I flock to immediately. And one of them is No Resistance. This movie came out like 2 months ago, I believe, as one of the partner label releases. And anybody who is into dystopian, end of the world, post-apocalyptic stuff is going to love this film. It is such a lo-fi version, one of like the most originally cyberpunk feeling movies that I've seen in ages. And not like, this is from 94. They weren't trying to be cyberpunk. They were just looking at this sort of thing and saying, let's make a good movie about if the world ended and how we needed to deal with that. And so, as usual, this is the No Resistance slipcover. Here is the back, and it says, "You look like a fellow who's got a couple of enemies." And the movie is great.
I do.
This is the inner art on this one, and this has so many special features. This has audio commentary with the writer and director, producer, and then the actor and another actor, another audio commentary, and that one's with the director and producer and the musician. And then this is the one that I told you about when they announced it, that has the interview with the director called Cyberpunk Yojimbo. And I still think you would genuinely love this movie. I think that this is one you might want to consider getting.
I think I will. There's a couple things I want to order from Vinegar Syndrome, so maybe I'll put that in the next order.
This is a shot-on-video movie, so it doesn't look pristine. It's not like this digital output or anything like that. But the big thing is they have actual graphical interfaces on a lot of these things because it's a guy that is hacking, essentially. So it's got a heads-up display on a lot of the
That's
scenes.
so cool.
And it's so well done for 1994. Like, there's rotating 3D graphics on this guy's heads-up display, and yeah, it is way better than you think it's going to be. The acting in it for a shot-on-video movie from Houston is way better than expected. The story is good. The story makes sense. It's not an exploitative shot-on-video movie where it's just here for a bunch of girls to get naked and put fake blood on them or anything like that. This is one that this is like their prestige release, I think, so far. It may not be their most historically impactful, but I think it's the one that will stand up as their best film so far.
Can you pull up screenshots or anything? Because I'm trying to wrap my head around how this looks.
Yeah, let me go to the Vinegar Syndrome site and see what they got for it, because
Jeff
it
says
is
those crazy Texans. Is Saturn's Core based in Texas?
no the director of this film. The film itself was based in Houston, because he was from Houston and all of his friends were in the area.
Speaking of Texans, I was talking to somebody. Okay.
So let me go from here.
That looks like my cousin. That does not. Love the hair. That's cool.
It's very 1994, but it works much better than you think it will.
Is there action in it?
Yes. It's not brilliant action, but it does exist. It's not a boring movie at all. And the actual synopsis for this, just to have you understand, because it's a lot deeper than it sounds. In the aftermath of the catastrophic collapse of America's governmental and financial infrastructure, Deej is a pink-haired, crank-snorting cyber alchemist performing high-priced hacks for hire from his fully mobile, holstered laptop. Deej navigates through a dystopian urban jungle, evading the ire of rival government street gangs, and wielding his itinerant PC like a futuristic gunslinger, erasing phone bills and shutting down life support systems for a bounty of drugs, floppy disks, and cash. When Deej is hired by would-be terrorists to obtain a high-risk weaponized computer virus, he instead finds himself involuntarily becoming the carrier of a far more insidious cargo, the fallout from which may lead to war or even the end of all humanity as we know it.
So like a normal day in Texas.
Basically, yeah. At least in Houston.
That actually does sound pretty cool. I'm going to pick that up.
It's great. And then on top of that, it's got a bunch of music videos from the guy that scored the movie. And the music is really good. Music videos they're something.
See, you know what sucks about you is that if you recommend a movie, you're like 100%. Like your batting average is at 100%. So I'm gonna have to watch it.
It is not a masterpiece, but for your taste, I think it's one that you'll like. And I think it's even better than that VSA you held up a little while ago.
What?
If you
don't like Billy Blank?
Billy Blanks, I mean, I don't love him, but he's fine. I really don't like Jalal Mary.
Why?
Maybe I'm Jalal married out from Vinegar Syndrome.
Jalal accepted my Facebook friend request and Billy Blanks didn't. So I'm pro Jalal.
I still think that since they released 3 of those, I think they should have released a 3-pack instead of selling 3 $29 movies or whatever.
You're telling me that this isn't worth $30 plus shipping?
No, probably not.
Look at this. Didn't realize Flip was in the sci-fi. I'm not, because I'm not a nerd, but no, I'm just kidding. I mean, I just don't like Star Wars. Everything else is cool. I'm more of a Star Trek guy.
Which is a really deep storyline.
There was a time and place in my life where I watched, for a year, I did nothing but watch Star Trek. Like, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, the original. Like, I was just really into Star Trek.
So, do you have anything else you would like to bring up right now? Because if not, I've got one thing that I'd like your take on.
They should make an Expendables movie, but it's all straight to VHS action stars. So, Billy Blanks, Jalal Murray. And then who's that actor? They just announced another movie with like a guy that hung out with that crew. Vinegar Syndrome. It's like the German guy. He's got long hair.
The German guy.
He's in he's in a couple of those movies with those guys, but he has
Cyber Vengeance.
Yeah, who's the German guy in that?
Robert Davi, Matthias Hughes.
I think it's Matthias.
J. Christian Ingvordsen.
Yeah, Expendables VHS edition.
All right, so we're already talking about it in the comments, and I don't know how much you have to say on this, but let's talk righting wrongs.
Mm-hmm.
So this just got announced from Vinegar Syndrome, and there are a lot of people in the Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Group that are upset that this release is coming the way it is, and it seems like some people are pitting 88 Films against Vinegar Syndrome and making it seem like they were competing. And the big thing on the 88 Films release is they have the random ending option where you can watch the movie and not know what ending you're going to get.
That's a pretty big selling point for me personally.
But also on this release, you've got 3 different they call it unaltered original feature-length presentations of the film, which is literally just 3 different cuts of the movie. But then the Best of Martial Arts Films from 1990, a feature-length documentary hosted by John Saxon and including footage and interviews with Cynthia Rothrock, Yuen Biao, Karen Shepard, Jackie Chan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bruce Lee, and many more. And then all kinds of interviews.
So for me personally, since I'm balling, I'm going to get both. But if I had to choose, I would just get the 88 one because I've been loyal to them. It's the same thing. It's like Arrow. I don't know why people are really freaking out about this release. Arrow and Eureka are putting out a lot of the same movies. Granted, there's a lot of the
they're
same
working together.
Features. Yeah.
Arrow is literally releasing Eureka's discs just in the US.
I think this one would probably be the better go just because it's got 3 different cuts of the films and not just a randomizer. So
the one thing I want to say, do you know through everything who it seems like the winner is about all this? Cynthia Rothrock, because she's getting all the attention. She has a brand new commentary on each of the releases. She filmed 2 different commentaries.
I have to say, me and Dragon are in the Asian Cinema Circle Club chat on Facebook, and anytime a couple of these guys have a huge heart on for Cynthia Rothrock, I personally think she looks like Ron Perlman. Doesn't do anything for me. So every time that they bring her up, I just start posting pictures of Ron Perlman like on the beach, and I'm like, man, Cynthia's looking great.
Oh, there's not even any stills in this.
Why do they do that? Those motherfuckers. I do like the new artwork though. Who is the artist?
Artist on this one is it was on here somewhere, I believe.
Oh, there's 4 cuts on 88s. See, I haven't actually sat down and looked at the 2 ones, but Fu is saying 88 Films has 4 cuts of the film.
It's essentially all the same footage, just cut together differently.
Hey, scroll down real quick. Scroll, like all
This is all of it.
No, I mean right there. What's that release? Second one.
Sampo. This is the Deaf Crocodile release, the second Russian fantasy film, just like Ilya Muromets.
Is it by him?
I don't know if it's the same director. Let me see. Who's the director on this? Alexander Petushko.
Is there screenshots of that? That looks cool.
Yes, and this one looks great. The trailer looks really good on this one as well. Yep, same director.
Huh.
So on Sampo, this one looks amazing. I mean, the cinematography that they're able to pull off on these films.
And when did this come out?
I believe this was the late 50s or early 60s.
See, this is my Tarkovsky.
So the year on this one is 59.
man, dude, like you see some stuff and you're like, wow, that's a beautiful screenshot, and then you find out the year of the movie and you're like, what the fuck?
Dude, we had an entire conversation about this in my Discord on Patreon because I don't understand some of the shots that they were able to pull off in Ilya Muromets in the 50s, because it's ridiculously great cinematography doing things that we couldn't do in Hollywood for years unless you had some massive budget. And it's not like this was made with millions and millions and millions of dollars.
That's why I love watching Kurosawa films. Is that like, even though I've seen Seven Samurai and Ron like 100 times, there are shots in those movies where I'm just like, how?
Right.
Damn,
And
dude, Death Crocodile is fucking killing it. When's that
out? This month. This just got announced.
Holy shit. Awesome. I can't wait.
Yes, sir. Deaf Crocodile is doing great things. I still think the thing that they were getting their name associated with is that they did the 4K restoration of Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13. I really hope they release the UHD for that and don't let Scream Factory do it. They could really kill that movie.
USSR money.
The thing, though, is they weren't this massive, huge commercial success. I don't see them like laundering money properly through this. It's not something that their entire culture was based around or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, Russians are wild. Even in to tie it back to fighting, all my favorite UFC fighters right now are all Russian. They're all fucking crazy. Fucking madmen.
Well, and even the first one, Ilya Muromets, the fact that they had almost 100,000 extras in that movie is bonkers. Like, that should not be a thing. The fact that they're able to wrangle 100,000 people and put them in a movie is stupid. Like, that's amazing.
Probably paid them in food.
Maybe. I mean,
here's some bread.
Either that or do the movie or we kill you.
I mean, that's a good movie to get killed over.
Tons of announcements in the last couple weeks, other than Righting Wrongs. Anything else that you're eyeing?
Heavy Metal Parking Lot. That's a classic. Love that. Love the documentary.
And there's just all kinds of stuff on that.
It feels like every day I fucking wake up, it's like 20 new titles. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like getting over. It's getting overkill. It's becoming overkill.
Friday was a crazy day because I woke up, posted all the imprint announcements, and I had to be interviewing people at my job all day long. And the Vinegar Syndrome announcements came, and those are not easy to post for Disconnected. I spend on partner label announcements days when it's like a full slate. I think we had 13 announcements just from partner labels, plus the Vinegar Syndrome titles. That takes me like an hour to do properly.
You need to get someone to help you.
If only.
If only. You need some kind of like chubby Sicilian man who's not wearing pants and has his shirt halfway off.
And who doesn't already have 4 jobs.
Hopefully landscaping today was the last day. They should be finished by next week, but if not, fuck me. Ugh.
Sardis says you should post some of those interviews. What do we mean? What interviews?
Oh, he was talking about job interviews.
Oh.
I don't think you can. Those are government property.
Yes, they are. They very much are. Not for this job. This job doesn't pay.
No. I want to know, like, people who collect everything, how the fuck are you guys keeping up with that shit?
Well, and beyond that, now we're at the point where a lot of, like we just said, Eureka and Arrow are releasing the same releases. And so what about there are people that are loyal to just Eureka and just Arrow? Are they getting both? I mean, it's you know, the 88 film stuff going on, the Righting Wrongs coming from both. That's a lot to keep up with.
Speaking of Nope, they used the new trailer for Nope featuring a E40 song is perfectly cut. Nope.
I have not seen the new trailer. Everybody told me that it shows too much, so I've been trying to keep away from it.
They were the main sponsor at UFC, so it played like 1,000 fucking times. And I love E40, but that song is not in my head. Nope.
I got 17 days to wait.
Are you a big E40 fan?
Nope.
Trying to get to you and that monkey. Trying to get.
They're
to
not
you.
bad, but they're not somebody that I would spin every day or anything.
Really?
Yep. Josh, there is a YouTube chat that you're not seeing every single comment on. That's why I try to highlight as many as I can. Unfortunately, the YouTube comments don't go over to Twitch as well.
Trying to get to you and that booty. Man, brings me back to junior high dances. That ass is fat.
Sardis says, I had to stop buying toilet paper to buy all these releases. I use the extra napkins I get from fast food orders. See, this is where you need to budget properly and just use the art cards. Nobody uses those for anything else. You're already buying them.
Oh, man. Sardis.
Some Dario Argento lobby cards or something.
Oh, my God. Deep red? Oh, shit. There's red on it? Fuck. Oh, God.
No resistance, though. I think more people should pick that up.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Saturn's Core is ridiculously great, and most of their releases, other than this one, usually have at least 2 movies on there. They do it a lot like AGFA because they are shot on video, so they're not actually going to be like super high def. They're pretty much just using Blu-ray to store as much as they can on the disc. Fu says, I solely blame Ryan for my recent credit card bill. Oops.
Good job, Fu. Fu, how much? That's what I want to know. Well, do you want to wrap it up?
It feels weird to only wrap it up in 52 minutes, but we certainly can. I know that we're both exhausted.
I got to go clean the restaurant.
Still?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to go to sleep after this. Jeez.
I should. But I need to go clean the restaurant, and then I might go hit the weights.
Better than me. I
no monsters today either.
Nice.
So this is me raw dogging the day.
Let's raw dog the rest of the week. I want to see you like after 5 days with no monsters.
I'm angry. I'm irritable.
That's at least the first 3 days. Let's come down from that.
I become extremely racist for some reason. Like Monster, like keeps that in bay. That would be such a funny excuse. Taylor, listen. If I don't get my Monster, I become racist. That'd be a pretty good bit.
I always hate the I was drunk and I didn't mean to say that thing. All that means is you're an asshole at heart.
Oh, dude. Oh my God. So here, this 19-year-old kid and a fucking Hellcat. First off, 19 with a Hellcat, insane. He got kicked out of a bar because he's being unruly, and in the video, he says, "I'm gonna kill all you N-words." All right. He pulls out a gun. It ended up just being a BB gun, but it looked like a real gun. And someone came over and was like, "Hey, dude, knock it off." New tagline for Monsters. It keeps the racism at bay.
If I don't get this, I get racist.
But this passenger comes out, knocks the dude that's trying to calm him down out cold, and he runs over his body. And that dude lived. They pulled onto his body and then were doing burnouts, like dragging him.
Jeez.
Did you ever happen in Chicago?
Yeah, I was about to say, what about what happened kind of close to you?
I told Ryan I wouldn't talk about that stuff. I promised him.
It is sad. I don't understand.
We've had 11 in 4 days this month.
I mean, obviously this stuff has happened forever, and social media and the 24-hour news cycle is making it seem bad, but it is genuinely worse than
it's pretty bad. It's bad. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is getting
worse. You can't even
worse.
feel safe at a 4th of July parade.
Good thing I don't like doing shit. Thank God.
Yeah, I get that. It's hard out there.
You want to end on a happy note?
Sure.
Okay. We're in boxing class, and we had to do push-ups. But the way the dude does the push-ups is like he'll say, down, hold, up. So we're doing that, right? And I hold, and I just fart, right? I'm trying to hold it in, and there was 2 yoked black guys behind me, and one of them was like, "Bro, what the fuck?" And then the other one was like, "Hey man, if you ain't pushing, you ain't trying. Good job." And I was like, "What the fuck?" Awesome.
Out of all the stories we have heard on this show, that is a pretty good one. So, anyways,
if you find my TikTok, I deep throat bananas on there because it's funny. But I linked it to my Facebook or something, and there's been probably like 2 or 3 times a week since the last time we talked, where customers, not just like people my age, but like older people, will be like, "Hey, I saw your TikTok." I'm like, this is a talent I have.
Foo says, if you're not a disconnected patron, you should at least throw Ryan a few bucks for giving us a shirtless flip.
Yeah.
And then, Dave, did you see what he said?
What did he say?
If we're here any longer, Flip is going to drop his pants next.
Oh, I'm naked, dude. I'm naked right now.
Flip
I'm not. I am naked. I'm naked.
Oh.
I got home from the dude. It's so weird. The sunburn's weird because I had a sleeve on my tattooed arm, like a black
Smart.
thing to keep it. So I'm like, look at this, red, and then just like white everywhere else. So
my oldest kid, we were out for 4th of July stuff, and because he is so tan from earlier in the summer already, his feet when he was wearing shoes are like whiter than white. So it just looked like he was walking around in socks yesterday, even though he was barefoot.
I mean, I fell asleep briefly. I set my alarm, and I must have just hit snooze in my sleep. And then Ryan texted me and it said 1 minute, and I was butt naked. And I was like, I'm gonna throw on this hoodie, but it's so fucking hot in here. I'm doing landscaping. I literally felt like I was having a heat stroke. Like I had to leave early. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna leave an hour early because I feel like absolute shit. I still feel like shit. So
I ran a couple of errands earlier, and I just wanted to collapse afterwards. It is so bad outside.
Sucks, dude.
Well, and it didn't help. One of my errands was to get a COVID booster today.
Dave says shirtless Flip earned a thumbs up for me tonight. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. You know, I gotta keep the guns. This is what benching 405 looks like. Still fat. But I'm down I think I'm down almost 20 pounds since the last time we talked. Yeah. So it's awesome. I'm gonna keep it up.
I haven't worked out at all, and I'm down like almost 15.
Yeah, well, okay, first off.
Yes, it drips off of me, I know, because I weigh a lot more than you.
First off, my body, like, I can literally starve myself if I don't do physical activity. But yeah, but now I can box, so I can. Well, it'll be like this if I'm fighting you, because I'll have to reach up.
I'll just plant my palm on your forehead.
Well, guys, we love you. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Hopefully a little more rested that time.
I will be well rested because I won't be doing landscaping. So
This is what lifting cans of Monster looks like.
oh, I do. Not to toot my own horn, but our cans of Full Red, which is like the tomato base that we use for our sauce. Each case weighs about 60 pounds. And my dad was like, I need 3 cases. And I just walked over and picked up 3. And it literally felt like nothing. I was like, then he was like, what the fuck?
Anyways, like he said, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Reconnected Thursday this week is going to be freaking massive because of everything that's gotten announced this week. So make sure come hang out because it's going to be a fun one. Until then, we'll see y'all next